Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome. So, I've been told that AI is going to replace creative endeavors. You know, it's composing symphonies or something really crazy like that. See, people are talking about this with almost a giddy excitement. There almost appears to be kind of like a class snobbery of being ahead of the curve of understanding this or having like the positions to where you're not going to get affected because you're just so skilled. But yeah, no, I don't think it's really going to be as big of an issue as people say, at least not anytime in the near future. Here's why. In terms of driving, the visual processing is kind of difficult to do any kind of task. Visual processing. I read about this somewhere in a magazine. I'm not particularly well versed in this stuff, but I understand enough about the basics of things, just like how stuff works, how it's difficult to get something to do a complex task, and that it requires hardware, which is conductors and things are difficult to obtain, and then the safety measures and stuff like that. But when it comes to music especially, it's like, yeah, it can create stuff from an aggregate of its experiences that it's going to iterate through, and it's going to use, like, I don't know what it is, like parallel distributed processing or whatever the new thing is. Since like 10 years ago, they wrote about parallel distributed processing to create a new piece of music. It's not going to be there like me when, like, I had the sound in my mind of this girl that I really liked, and we would sit at this kitchen table when she was in college, and she was like staying at this old man's house because he was, you know, in the hospital or something. He was letting her use it, and rain would fall in that window, and we'd be sitting there drinking gin and coffee and cigarettes and just talking and being a couple of artsy weirdos. Just a nice vibe. And then I would go back. I was rooming with this Taiwanese dude at this little apartment that had great acoustics, and I would sit on the front porch steps, and it kind of was on a hill overlooking the city, but it's still kind of not in the city, and rain would start to fall there too, and I would connect those two things, and I would think, raindrops on the window, and then there's kind of like, because I'm overlooking something, there's this sensation of anticipation, wide open horizons, and then I'm in love. And so, you know, I get like this because I've been messing around with a lot of new trick stuff. So it has the capo. I've been doing the capo. This is like 10 years ago now. And I've been, of course, doing a lot of pentatonics because that's what people who lack skill on guitar do, is pentatonics. But yeah, and then so that's the raindrops gathering on the window. That's the rain just picking up. Because we were smoking, we would often get like leaves blowing through the window and a little bit of like a chill breeze. And so then after that little section, a leaf enters in through the door and lands on her shoulder. She had really elegant shoulders, really pretty blonde hair. So yeah, so is an AI gonna do that? I don't know. It's one of the better pieces I made. I usually don't make stuff anywhere near that good or that comes together like that. But come on, man. First of all, people are going to know that I wrote that. They're going to like that I wrote that. They're going to like the experience that I bring to it, even if I didn't, like, discuss it. I don't know, I'm saying like so much I got to stop watching people who talk terribly. I'm picking up their bad habits. But yeah, like I self-driving trucks. They can't even get the Teslas right. Are you serious? Like, I understand it's a simpler path. Just gonna go for it, but you're still gonna probably want to do it in there, right? And then you still have the liability and you still gotta pay them. Speaking of, like, truckers are dropping out left and right. I work in logistics as my put food on the table thing that I do. No, I'm not a truck driver, although I do drive. It's not a truck, it's a package car, but yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, you're not gonna get people to robots to load, to pick stuff up, like varying size. No, it's the simpler things that are actually more complicated. The people whose jobs are gonna go away are like all of these very almost algorithmic decision-making processes that a managerial type would make. So, yeah. And I don't know, I'm just kind of turned off by how folks just describe this stuff. It's like, you're not on the pulse. This stuff is so complicated and weird and new. And if you had any at all, like, approximation of experience with how difficult it is to grasp neurological functions, like, I read Antonio Damasio's book. It's a book a neuroscientist wrote for lay people. And yeah, it's an older book now. But, bro, I keep on hearing all this alarmist stuff, and we should be paying attention to it, but it's like, it's almost like people are giddy to live in a sci-fi fantasy, and it's kind of a distraction from actual problems to focus on this stuff. And also the way that it's being talked about is like half the people are like really excited about it in a weird way, like terrified and excited at the same time. Excited is going to show like what the real value of it is, or it's going to free people up or whatever. And I'm just like, bro, these are like philosophy 101 questions and ideations that some like dude who just smoked too much of the devil's lettuce is sitting there pontificating. And these are like really smart, heady guys. Some of the times. Most of the time it's just YouTube pundits. But YouTube pundits are like the biggest voices out there. We don't watch the media anymore because they're full of shit. But hey, we're full of shit too. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed me showing off an undeveloped song that I'm proud of. Later.